Good afternoon, badass artists. I'm Mia Luyando. Today we are back. We are working still in our book Botany Bay. We are waiting for our new book, Paisley Peacock, to arrive, which should be any moment, which is part 2 of Botany Bay. I thought today we would work on a night sky background using NeoColors. We've been doing some backgrounds this week. I thought we would just carry on with that. So what I was thinking is I'd like to do a dark black, like a night sky background, and then slowly make it lighter around like a star, like a starlight kind of background. And I have an idea in my mind how I want it to look. I'm not quite 100% sure how I'm going to get there yet, so you guys are welcome to join me. Pull up a chair, get comfortable, grab some tea, grab some coffee, grab a snack, and let's dive right in. So I'm going to go in first with a black NeoColor, and I'm just going to color in the corners here where it is the darkest black. We're just going to go ahead and ink in that night sky, and I'm going to bring this all the way up to the little Luna moth. I know that looks like a butterfly, and it is. You can make it a butterfly if you like. I've decided to make it a Luna moth. And I'm just going to go around all the darkest shadowy outer parts of the picture. So glad you all are joining me today. And I have a protective page behind this. I think I'm going to take it out right now so I don't have a line in NeoColor. I want to protect the paper when I add water later, so I'll add that back in. And I'm going to bring this on down. Now the nice thing about NeoColors is as you add lighter colors to darker colors, you can still see them. So I appreciate that about the paint, and we are going to be putting that into action today. I'm going to add this down in the lower corner also. And I know you're saying, black, are you sure? Well, we're just gonna try it. We're gonna dive in and we're gonna see if it works the way I think it's gonna work. And if it doesn't, well, then we'll know, right? Then we'll know not to do it again. But that's why I'm doing it first. That way we'll know for sure, and you guys will have a good idea whether you want to try it for yourselves or not. Now next I'm going to take this dark blue color, this Prussian blue, and I'm going to add that in. So we're creating this inky blue dark night sky. And I'm being pretty generous with the NeoColor. I'm making sure I cover a lot of ground with it. I want there to be plenty of paint to mix. this area is going to be a little bit lighter. We're going to focus on the starlight effect right in this area a little more, so I'm not going to make this as dark. But don't be afraid to overlap your colors. They're good at blending, so we're just going to dive right into that. We'll go in and we'll add some more details to the moth, of course, after we're done with this. And I'm just going to add a touch of this color up here, just so we know that that inky blue night sky is visible all the way. Next, I'm going to take a dark gray. This is the darker gray in the set. It's called just gray. There's nothing fancy about it, but it is the darker of the two grays in this set. And I'm going to bring this on down. And I know you're thinking, why are you coloring gray over grayscale? It's already there. Well, I want it to really pop. I want it to be very obvious that we've gone in and made this a starry sky. You can see how easy those two colors just blend right on in to the blue. When this is dry, we're going to go in and we're going to add little stars with some white gel pen. I'm going to bring this color down the side. We're going to leave this still a little lighter. But we're just going to merge that right into the navy. And I'm going to bring this up a little farther. And it's kind of a bluish cool gray, so it works really nicely for a night sky. And just go ahead and fill this in. Now I'm going to choose a lighter gray. This one is just called light gray. And I'm going to bring this closer to her face. And we're going to make this like the moonlight is shining from behind her. The light source is behind her right now. And we're going to make this bright and clear. And the only color that we have that's lighter than this gray color is pure white, and we're gonna work some in here, but not, this is about as far up as we're gonna take this until we get into the details part. And that'll be on another video because we'll have to let this dry first. But don't worry, I won't leave you. We will come back after we let this dry, and we will add the stars and the details. Okay, I'm gonna grab my paintbrush, and I'm just going to use a flat filbert brush. Nothing fancy, it's just a little flat brush, number 6. And let me grab, let's see, is that the one I want? Yeah, that's a filbert number 6 brush. I'm gonna hold both of those out. And I've got a little towel here to get the excess water. Let me put this protective sheet behind again before I forget. Now also, Caran DAche has these neat little palettes, and they're textured on one side, so you can scribble your NeoColors, and you can have all of your colors on there, and when you add water, it just turns into paint. So if you find that you're in a spot where you need a little extra, you can just dip your paintbrush in some water, go over to the palette, add some more. It's actually really handy, so I'm going to add that in the description below for you if you're interested in that. Now, we're just going to go up here. Now, if you're right-handed, start at the top right and work your way down. If you're left-handed, do just the opposite. That way you're not dragging your hand in the paint. And I'm just giving you that from personal experience. I've started in odd places before and ended up having to hold the paintbrush in an odd position because I was, you know, working over wet paint. Now just bring this paint right up to the butterfly, and we're going to color that like a Luna moth later, and just smooth this right out. We're going to make this a beautiful night sky. And like I said, later we'll go in and we'll add stars and, you know, all of our little details. When it picks up that blue, it's really pretty. I'm hoping I added enough blue in. If not, we can manually add some more blue. But here we go. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. We're in this together. It's definitely a pretty night sky effect. I'm pleased so far. And don't worry, you'll get little blobs that look, you know, it'll just look like a blob because it's where your paintbrush first met the paper that had, you know, the extra damp spot, but it'll dry. It'll look smooth when it dries out. It's just the nature of the paper with the water. Now I'm going to get a little extra gray paint from the palette and work that in. Kind of smooth out the transition there. And that's not paint, that's just water. And we're going to bring that color, I'm going to get the lighter gray and pull it in a little bit closer to her face. There we go. And we'll have to let this dry before we can go in and add our stars and our little details. But I think this is going to look beautiful when we're done. I'm calling it a success right now, everybody. I'm not finished, but I like the way it's looking. We're just going to continue to pull this towards the center. And don't worry if you kind of overlap, you know, the pencil a little bit. Remember, the pencils are wax-based, and water usually doesn't disturb them too much. And we're going to leave that side as is right now. Over here, so it's looking like a cloudy night sky. That's the look we're after. I wasn't sure at the beginning if this was going to turn out the way I wanted it to, but you just have to take a chance sometimes, and you know, if it doesn't turn out the way you want it, well, now you know. But sometimes we just have happy, you know, we take good chances. We take happy risks in our artwork. If we don't try it, then we don't know. And I'm sure you're saying, but that was a pretty big risk. That's paint. Well, yeah. But I think the payoff is great on this one because this is going to look really pretty when we're done. And now we know this is going to work, so I feel confident telling you guys, try this at home. Now you've seen me try it and see how it works. So you can decide if you like all the colors or just some of the colors, or if you want it to be just black or just navy. And you can make a good decision for your artwork at home based on what I've done here. And also remember that once this dries, you can also go over them with pencil. They'll receive pencils quite easily because they are water-based. So if there's a spot that you feel might be too dark, like I think this might be just a little too dark, I'm just going to scribble over it with the white. I'm just going straight on it. And we might just have to let it dry a little bit. It's not too bad, just a little bit. Just a little bit dark. I'm going to let that dry a little before. Oh, that did okay. And it just ends up looking fluffy and cloudy. And my paper's wet, I don't want it to tear. So I'm gonna leave it there for right now so it can dry. And when we come back tomorrow, I'm gonna let it dry overnight. When we come back tomorrow, I'm gonna have a white gel pen and maybe gold or copper, and we'll do some detailing on the little flower and definitely on the Luna moth and on some of her jewelry here, and we're going to add some stars. So I hope you'll join me. If you found this video helpful, I do hope you'll give me a thumbs up. It is so helpful for the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you will. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. I'm going to add the link in the description below to my Badass Art channel over on Facebook. If you haven't joined me over there, I hope you will. Share your badass artwork with me. I love to see it. Okay, everybody, I had a great time this afternoon. I'm going to let this dry so we can work on it again tomorrow. I hope you'll join me then. See you next time.